Good morning. Paul gave me the agenda for the day, and I want to, it's really an impressive agenda, and I want to congratulate the organizers for putting this together. It's very comprehensive. It covers a lot of topics. And also, I did volunteer. I was invited as well, and I volunteered as well, so I'm here in two roles. But anyway, thank you for giving me the opportunity to participate in this conference. Now, I understand that the theme of the conference is, Connect Coimbatore 2010. And Mr. Ravi, I'm a greenhorn in this area as well, and so when they said Connect Coimbatore, then I thought it was something to do with logistics and, rail and road and air, and I said, why the heck am I being invited to this conference? But anyway, I got through that, my naivety in that. And really, what we are talking about today, at least from my perspective, is how we are connecting Coimbatore with business, whether it's the IT business or the ITES business or other businesses like Ford Motor Company. So, from my vantage point, what I'm here to do today is to share with you the experiences that we've had at Ford, and not only kind of connect Coimbatore in some kind of abstract way, but we've connected Detroit to Coimbatore. And I want to share that how we made that very connection across the oceans and across many miles. And I'm very happy to say that in terms of our corporate presence, last year on February the 26th, 2009, the Blue Oval was planted in Coimbatore, and we are very, very happy for that association with Coimbatore. So that's kind of sets the tone for my presentation today. And so before I get into the Coimbatore experience itself, I want to share with you how put Coimbatore in the context of the Ford presence geographically as well as the kind of businesses that we are in. Now in some cases we probably don't need any introduction given the brand that we have. But in terms of our corporate offices, we are headquartered in Chennai. I just mentioned we inaugurated our facility in Coimbatore last year. We have regional offices, as you would expect from a major auto manufacturer in the major metro cities, Delhi, Chennai, Kolkata, Mumbai. Now, through our dealer partners, as you know, we don't sell direct, we sell through dealers. We are represented in 98 cities across India, covering the country. And through our supplier partners, both in the hardcore business as well as in the ITES area, we have multiple locations across India. So our footprint is very widespread, but in terms of our corporate presence, it's kind of focused in the southern part of India. We operate through two legal entities in India. One is called Ford India Private Limited, and that's in the business of manufacturing and selling cars and trucks, and we also do what's called completely knockdown assembly. We have an engine manufacturing plant in Chennai, state of the art, and we are also an export hub for our products. Now the second business, which is more relevant to this audience today, is the Ford Business Services Center Private Limited, and that's the company that I head. And in our internal language, it's referred to as Global Business Services. And we offer, and this is a bit of a hidden secret, that we actually offer for Ford globally accounting and finance services, operations support services, where we support our operations such as marketing and sales and purchasing and our logistics areas and so on. We have a very well-established center of excellence in IT services and engineering here. So the Ford presence in India is multidimensional geographically as well as in the kind of businesses that we are in. Give a little bit of texture on Ford India, more than 3,200 employees, significant investment. Our plant capacity, a recent investment, again with the support of the Tamil Nadu government, 200,000 vehicles per annum. The manufacturing facility we have is a state-of-the-art facility in Chennai. The engine plant capacity, again, is up to 250,000, and it's a new integrated engine plant. And we are, in terms of our purchase experience, we have a standard called Ford brand at retail. And you will experience that if you were to visit one of our dealerships, 109 dealerships, 165 service facilities, and in 98 cities. Now, the more relevant portion for this audience is the Ford Business Services Center Private Limited. We were established 10, 11 years ago, started off in Chennai. again with great support from the Tamil Nadu government. There are two divisions. There's the Ford Business Services Center and there's Ford Technology Services India. And we're in the business of providing value-add shared services. So, you know, when this, the introduction was made in the area of IT and so on, we have a very open mind on these things. We are in the business of business services, if you like, and if they require IT as a facilitator, fine. But my scope is much wider than that, and I encourage you, when you think about Connect Coimbatore, to think wider, think IT, think ITES, and think broader business services as well, which is what we at Ford are doing. And it covers accounting and finance, it covers operations support. We have IT application development support and IT infrastructure. We have a command center that monitors servers and networks located in Chennai for Global Ford, and again engineering services. In fact, our Chennai center is the second largest IT application development center for Ford Motor Company Global. So that's significant. Engineering services is a new growth area in my part of the business. And we are now part of the product development factory for Ford Global. We are not talking about India or Asia Pacific here. More than 4,000 employees. We actually employ more people on the business services side than we do on the manufacturing and assembly side. Accounting, IT, engineering professionals. Significant gender diversity in our group as well. And this is where we take advantage of Coimbatore because it offers that kind of demographics to us. And as I mentioned before, our offices are in Chennai and Coimbatore, and I'm very pleased to say, as I say, I was here yesterday, celebrated our first anniversary. We cut a cake and wished each other many happy returns of the day. And we did that because we have great confidence in Coimbatore, and I'm going to describe our journey in a minute. Now, these two businesses that I just described to you, we talked about how our presence in India is helping corporations survive the downturn. And you know that Ford is a great survivor out of the domestic three. It's a great success story for us. And part of the reason why we were successful is because of our presence in Chennai and Coimbatore. And it's in two ways. Clearly through the Ford expanding, new investments, new product coming in. So we are trying to help the company on the top line in a growing market. And then on the business services side, which is my side of the shop, we are making significant contributions to reducing the structural cost for the company, not only through salary arbitrage, but we are developing into centers of excellence both in Chennai and Coimbatore, where we are able to, in addition to the salary arbitrage, we are able to provide efficiencies in terms of process standardization and best practices across Ford. So in both ways, on the revenue side as well as on the cost side, our presence in Chennai and Coimbatore is helping the corporation and survive the big downturn that we all experienced. So now talking about Coimbatore, why Coimbatore? Now in Ford, you know, every study that we do is a pretty intensive study, I can tell you that. So it's not some happenstance that you suddenly say, okay, well, let me throw a dart on the map of the world and where it lands, we are going to show up there. Clearly not that. In fact, the choice for Coimbatore was done under the auspices of our facilities and real estate arm, which is referred to as Ford Land. Ford Land is a division of Ford Corporate, which administers all our facilities, helps make the right choices on where the Blue Oval should be situated. So they were very much involved in Coimbatore. Three main criteria, if you like, that are part of our decision making for Coimbatore. We look at the physicals, and we'll describe that in a second. We look at the people, describe that in a second as well, and then we look at the infrastructure that's available in these locations. Now, in the physicals, there were some parameters that we established for ourselves. You know, given our headquarters are in Chennai, our second location had to be within a reasonable distance from Chennai. Now, you can define what reasonable is, but you know, we said about 400 to 500 miles out of Chennai. And the center should be at a location from Chennai where there's less likelihood of one event, natural or otherwise, impacting both centers. Because given the scale of what we are doing, particularly on the business services side, we have a responsibility to our corporation to provide business continuity in the event of a disaster in one city. Also, a good flexibility to move people around in case we want to do it for business reasons or also in the case of a disruption. Also a low natural disaster activity zone. These are criteria that big corporations always have in the back of their mind. Minimum impact of pandemic events, and a favorable climate as well. Chennai is pretty hot, as you know. Yesterday was a bit of an anomaly. I mean, I was coming on the plane and they told me that the temperature on the ground was 33 degrees, and I said I just came out of 28 from Chennai, and how the heck can it be? It should be the other way around. But anyway, so I'm going to report back to senior management, well, yesterday was an anomaly, so please don't change the decision here. So anyway, on the people side, our requirement was for a steady supply of qualified human talent and a diverse source of recruitment, because I just described to you the range of work that we do in Chennai, which we want to do in Coimbatore, also requires arts graduates, it requires science graduates, engineering graduates, and MBAs. And we're very happy to say that we were able to check the box for Coimbatore in that respect. A lower cost of living. It's a tier 2 city, so we would expect the cost of living to be lower. Now, we've experienced a lower cost of living in the 12 months that we've been here. It's increasing, and so that's potentially becomes an issue, because that's when the arbitrage begins to narrow, then corporations like us begin to look at other areas as well. Better retention. We've experienced a lot of attrition in Chennai, so we're looking for better retention of our people. And there's something abstract and that you can't, intangible if you like, and that's the Coimbatore, the spirit of the city. What is the family association, the social engagement, the work ethic, and so on. So we had some very loose criteria on something called the spirit of the city. And I think that I've been detecting a Coimbatore spirit is something about the people here which is endearing. And you can't put your finger on it, but generally the work ethic, the family ties, and people living in Chennai who come from Coimbatore, hey, we've opened an office in Coimbatore, that's my native place, I want to be closer to my hometown and my people, is there a possibility for me to go to Coimbatore? So that kind of a connection is very valuable, even for a corporate brand like ours, which traditionally deals in dollars and cents. And that's a very important piece when we decide on a location. Then on the infrastructure side, our requirements are for power supply, roads inside the city, connection to Chennai, our headquarters, public transportation, bandwidth in terms of IT connectivity. Clearly, we do a lot of IT-enabled stuff.